How's everybody doing? Happy
Thursday. I had to think.
I know, me too.
I was like, what day is it?
How's everybody doing? Welcome to the second to last day of beginner boot camp.
Y'all, this week has been phenomenal.
Yesterday, y'all were on fire for Lauren's SVG, PNG, file, video. We knew that you guys had wanted it, but we didn't know it was going to be that crazy.
Yeah.
So y'all went crazy over that, which makes me really happy because we do these beginner boot camps in hopes to inspire you all, and obviously it's working.
And not just inspire Cricut beginners, but also to inspire us seasoned crafters, just to remind us, things we can do, things we can't do. I mean, it's one of those things, we really try super hard to make it to where it's accessible and informative for everyone.
Yes. So we have covered so far this week. We started on Tuesday. What did Tanner go over on Tuesday? I was here. We went over SVGs and PNGs, and y'all remind me in the comments what we did on Monday. But today we're going to be going over the basics of paper.
Yes.
So
this is one, working with paper. I feel like a lot of people, I'm not even going to say beginners, a lot of people, when you get your Cricut or things like that, the first thing you think of is vinyl.
Yes.
Heat transfer vinyl. Those are the two main materials that everybody wants to work with. Mm-hmm. Phenomenal materials to work with your Cricut. Love them. But paper is such an underrated, I feel like personally, it is such an underrated material to use and to cut with your Cricut.
Yeah.
Super easy. One of the most simple things you can do.
Inexpensive.
So you don't feel like if you waste 3 sheets of cardstock, it's not as bad as wasting 3 sheets of permanent vinyl.
Exactly. And paper is really fun to work with, you all. If you're starting out with paper and you go through a bunch of it, like Lauren was saying, it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg to go through it. But it's really fun, and there's so many different techniques and things that you can do to really get good at paper crafting. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be making a fun little New Year's Eve banner because we do have our New Year's Eve event coming up on Sunday night. So we're going to be hanging out with you guys on New Year's Eve from 7 to 10 Eastern Standard Time. I'm so excited. And y'all, we've been talking about it all week, but the end of our deals is at the end of that event. Well, at midnight after our event's over. So you all only have, let's see, it's Thursday. So you've got the rest of today, Friday, Saturday, Sunday to jump in on these deals. We are still running that 75 off on our yearly membership, and you're still going to be getting the printed out Master Your Cricut workbook.
Y'all, that's a big deal. It was a big deal to begin with when we started. Did this. So first of all, $75 off our membership is a big deal anyway.
Period.
Number one, it's a huge deal. It's going to be the lowest you're ever going to find our membership, and you get grandfathered in at that price.
Yes.
So on top of that big deal, we added another one.
Yeah.
The printed and shipped workbooks, the 30 Days to Master Your Cricut. That's another little bonus on top of getting your membership.
Right.
Now you get instant access to that once you sign up for Makers Gonna Learn. You do get instant access to that, but to have a physical copy to hold in your hand, it takes it to the next level.
It's different.
So you don't have to go back and forth. You can literally stay in Design Space the whole time.
And have your little book
and read
open.
your book.
Yes.
And take notes and things like that. So having that in your hand is the bonus on top of the $75 off.
Yeah.
But we didn't stop there. We added a double bonus, meaning if you jump in on membership now, you also get on the pre-order list. You get our Craft Hack Handbook for free. Now, this is going to be something that we are going to be turning into a course.
Yes.
But if you jump in on not just membership, really, guys, it's any program we have, you're going to get that Craft Hack Handbook. You're going to get on the list to be one of the very first ones to receive that and get that in your hands.
And honestly, you all, we're pretty much offering bonuses with the other courses that we're offering as well. So our sublimation course is the highest discount we've ever offered. Not only that, but you're getting some surprise sublimation blanks in whenever you sign up for that, as well as the Craft Handbook. With DMS, you're going to get the highest discount we've ever had with
Sorry,
as
y'all.
well as getting the craft handbook.
I'm having issues. My
your mic messed
my
up?
mic's not staying on my pants
Oh.
today. I was trying to get this guy
Oh, okay.
Make-a-thon tickets. If
Yeah.
you grab your Make-a-thon tickets, you get
The mystery box.
I need to look and see how many we have left because as of yesterday during the live, we only had like 70.
Well, the boxes are stacked in the shipping room. Like literally, Sadie has been building out these boxes. They're stacked all the way to the ceiling in there. So the spots are filling up. Those are limited. A lot of this stuff is limited, y'all. We've got 3 days. Don't beat yourself up after you miss out on these deals. And it's January 1 and you didn't get one of the offers that we're letting you guys know about right now.
Okay,
So.
hold on 2 seconds. Okay, we are down to around 55.
Okay, that's for the Make-a-thon mystery boxes.
Make-a-thon mystery boxes. We're down to about 55.
And once we're out of those, they're gone.
Yeah.
So if you sign up for Make-a-thon, you get the mystery box, you get the craft hack handbook sent to you as soon as those come out. This is a pre-order, technically, even though it's free for
Yes.
you all. So make sure all the links are below.
Yes.
So if you're like, what is all this stuff? There's more information below, and you all can always pop in the chat, ask us a quick question. And if we don't answer there for some reason or we don't see it, we try to get to all the questions. You can email us at hi@makersgonnalearn.com and we can answer there.
Now,
So-
Nora just asked, do you have the link for the New Year's Eve event? It's actually pre-scheduled on our channel. So after we're live today, if you just go to our main channel, it should pop up and you can turn on your notifications. And by the way, guys, if you're not already subscribed to our channel, just go ahead and subscribe.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
I mean, you're already here watching us.
You're already here.
We're already hanging out.
Exactly.
So lots of good and fun, exciting things. I'm like getting really excited about our New Year's event.
It's one of my favorites. We always have a blast.
Yeah.
I don't know if you all have heard. I know we've talked about it, and I know we have some people that have been with us all week. But if you have not been here this week of boot camp, and maybe this is your first day, did you know that we are giving away $1,000 cash prize? Like no stipulations on it. You're getting sent PayPal $1,000.
Straight up.
Straight up, you're getting $1,000.
Yeah.
One of the prizes. There
Yes.
are many more prizes happening.
We've got a wheel, people. It's like the Wheel of Fortune up in here. So it's going to be really fun, super exciting. Make you a little mocktail, cocktail, hang out with us, with your family. It's going to be really, really fun. So,
Yep.
But if you guys, want to get started on the party, we're going to make some party decor today.
Let's get to it
Let's
because
do
this
it.
is super cute. I'm so excited for this.
Yes. So I went ahead and hung it up because why not? Look
I
how
know,
cute.
it's so cute.
It's so cute. We're going to be making this little banner. It's giving New Year's, also maybe giving graduation. It's okay. Black and gold is
Listen,
timeless.
it could be used for both.
Yeah. You
Make
gotta
it for New
graduate.
Year's, save it for your graduate.
So anyways, I love like the black and gold Gatsby vibe at New Year's. So that's what we're going to make today. We do not need a whole lot of supplies, and we are using Ashley Falco's Celebration Warehouse cardstock. She has the shed-proof glitter. She's got the beautiful foiled cardstocks as well as just the plain solid colors, and all of that is linked below for you all. You know what I didn't grab? Foam squares. I wonder if I have some.
I'll go grab them.
Okay, I just need a few little foam squares. So Lauren's gonna get those. So you're gonna need a few different colors. And listen, y'all don't have to do black and gold. If you've got other colors, feel free to use those. But the main ones that we are gonna be using today are the gold shed-proof glitter. Now all of Ashley Falco's glitters are shed-proof, which we absolutely love. You know, if you've worked with glitter cardstock before,
Did you need the teeny tiny ones or the bigger ones?
I can use those.
Are you sure? I
Yeah.
can grab the bigger ones.
Yeah, get the bigger ones.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, I could use either one, but so this is a shed-proof glitter. Now, if you're new to cardstock and you have never made anything with glitter cardstock, a lot of times these glitter cardstocks are very shedding. So like you touch it, it's on your hands, it's on your desk, on your face, in your eyeballs. Lauren once got it in her eye and it like messed her eye up really bad.
Oh, I had to like take my contacts out and it was
It was
atrocious.
a whole thing. So we swear by this shed-proof glitter, okay? And not only are they shed-proof, but they're gorgeous, okay?
Bless.
Excuse me. Phew. Excuse me. Sorry about that. And then we're also going to be using the black shed-proof glitter. This is so beautiful, y'all. This is a side note, but We pretty much get all of her colors because we're obsessed. We just ordered her wine. I ordered the wine and the navy.
Oh my gosh, the wine has taken over top spot with the red.
It has, yeah, because y'all know that we loved her red glitter so much. This wine color, Lauren is actually doing a live stream for a Valentine's backdrop next week, and she's using it.
Yes.
It's so pretty. Y'all get to see it then. So we've got black and gold glitter, and then I have this beautiful holographic. This isn't holographic. This is like a foiled... I guess you just call it a foiled cardstock. Okay, what?
We didn't do the giveaway for yesterday.
You guys didn't announce it yesterday?
No, we announced it yesterday. We've not announced it.
We need to announce it.
We need to announce
it. Okay, Sadie, will you pick us a winner from
or send it to us? Send us what you had picked from yesterday.
Okay, Sadie is on it.
While we're doing that, real quick, there were a couple questions that I wanted to address.
Okay.
And we'll address these questions, do the giveaway, go back to the tutorial.
Okay.
One thing I do want to say is if you have questions about not being able to purchase, or you have specific questions about your what am I trying to say? Your account or extending your membership, things
if
like
you're grandfathered in.
You need to make sure that you email hi@makersgonnalearn.com.
Yes.
Escape from Reality did have a question about being unable to buy Inner Circle. We would love to be able to assist you one-on-one, but during the lives is not the best way to do that, but our customer care team can do that.
Yes.
For sure. Jenny asked, does it matter what kind of glitter papers used? No, it does not. We just love the Celebration Warehouse.
Oh yeah, we stand by. And this is a medium cardstock. I'm going to go into a little bit more depth here in a second.
Yeah.
Let me pause so we can talk about who won yesterday.
And then last one before we do the winner.
Okay.
Shell asked, when do the workbooks go out? The 30 Days to Master Your Cricut workbooks, y'all sold us out of the first ones.
Yep.
We ordered 700 plus. Y'all sold us out of those. We just got the other ones in today. So the rest of those, if you've not received that, will be going out. If you're talking about the Craft Hack Handbook, we do want you all to be aware that this is kind of it is a pre-sale, you all are getting it for free.
It's a pre-sale, but you're getting it for free.
But you're getting it for free. So those will be sent out.
Beginning of 2024.
Beginning of sometime we're looking at right now, probably around the 1st of March-ish.
Yeah, that's what we're shooting for.
Is what we're shooting for.
Yes.
Because you have to think we're finished. We've got it put together. We have everything put together, but we have to go through a publisher to get it published.
Right.
So
takes a second.
It's
now, legit. It's a legit book.
Legit. Okay. Winner from yesterday.
Yay, drum roll.
Drum roll. Tamara Coates. You are our winner for the $100 Amazon gift card.
Are you here, Tamara? Are you here?
Tamara Coates.
Oh, no. Okay, well, that's okay. We will get in touch with her, right?
Yeah, and if you are rewatching, email us, hi@makersgonnalearn.com with your best Amazon email.
Okay,
Beautiful.
Francis went crazy on Black Friday at Ashley Falco. I feel you, girl. I went crazy this morning on Ashley Falco.
Also, just FYI, if she's not running a sale, you can use code MGL for 20% off her cardstock, guys.
Yes.
20% off. Normally, it would be 10% off, and then we would get 10%, but we said, nope, we don't want the 10%. Give the 10% to our people.
Yes.
They get 20% instead of 10.
Yeah. So,
okay, back to tutorial.
Okay, so we were talking about cardstock, and I want to talk about this a little bit before we even go over the rest of the supplies, before we even jump into the tutorial, because the kind of cardstock you're using is very important no matter what type of project you're making. If you're using a low quality cardstock, you're not going to get a high quality result. So if you're using, and I'm not saying the Dollar Tree is the best example because some Dollar Tree cardstock is good. But like we were saying earlier, if you use a cheap glitter cardstock, you're gonna have a mess. It's gonna be harder to cut. And so that's why we try out these products for you all so that you can know which ones are better quality and you can just skip all that hard, crazy stuff and just get right into the products that we know are gonna work. And that way you're kind of set up for success from the get-go and you're not having to test out all these different products. So we know that Celebration Warehouse is a good quality product and a good quality cardstock. The glitters are amazing. This is the foil. We're not even using a plain color today. I literally didn't even use a plain color today. But all of her solids, they're color core. And when I say color core, what I mean by that is they are colored all the way through. So a lot of times whenever you get a cardstock, you can see on this foiled, for example, because foiled can't be color core necessarily. A lot of times they'll have a white backer, or when you tear them, it's like white on the inside. And so she has all those solids. They are color core. So when you cut it, it's completely colored. So the edges aren't white. And I know that you guys know what I'm talking about. Just if you've ever worked with cardstock at all, even
Do you want
not
me to
with
go
crafting.
grab some to show the difference? Okay.
Definitely.
Beautiful.
I didn't realize that I hadn't used a single solid color on this craft. So we've got the foil, the glitter, and then Lauren's gonna grab an example of color core. That way you all can really see the difference, because a lot of times whenever, especially if you're doing like a 3D project or something, wherever it cuts, you're gonna see that white edge and it just does not look that good.
Black is my favorite color to show this on,
Yes.
because it's so easy to see.
Okay, this is perfect. So this is both shades of black. This is color core. I can tell that it's color core because watch. When I rip it, look, it's completely black in the middle, okay? Solid core, you could call it solid core or color core. And then look right here. This is not color core. Okay, so when I go to cut this, if I cut my little bunting that we're making today out of this, my edges are gonna be white. If I cut it out of this, they're gonna be solid black. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
I'm like trying to have a coughing fit. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I can go grab it. I don't know if we have any cough drops.
I had some, but I think I'm fine.
Okay.
Yeah. It'll pass. I've just been getting over this.
This too shall pass.
Yeah, this too shall pass. So those are the main things about cardstock. Now, typically her cardstock, the cardstock we're using today, is going to be cut on a medium cardstock cut setting because it is a medium weight cardstock. So that's like, I would say I typically cut with medium cardstock from 60 to 80. And then usually anything over 80, I cut on heavy, or I consider heavy cardstock. Would you agree with that? I feel like anything over 80 is starting to get a little bit thick.
Yes.
So the higher the weight, the thicker the cardstock. So if you hear us refer to something as like a 60-pound cardstock or an 80-pound, that's going to be considered a medium cardstock. Anything 80 or anything above 80 is considered heavy cardstock, okay?
Yes.
So most of the time, if we're working with paper, we're working with a medium weight cardstock because that's just easy to cut. It folds well. It looks good. That's like our go-to.
Now, we did have a question. Would you ever use white core paper for anything?
There are certain instances where it wouldn't necessarily matter as much if it showed. Like, I'm trying to think of a good craft example that we've done.
There are some 3D paper projects where you fold the ends in.
And yeah, and like, so you would never even see it.
So you would never even see it. Sometimes with certain colors, it's not as noticeable.
Right.
It is a little bit of a cheaper option. A lot of times, if you like a solid core, somebody said they had a hard time finding solid core. It can be harder to find.
Yes.
Because it is a little bit more expensive.
Well, and a lot of people aren't using their cardstock for Cricut crafts. And so when you go to the craft store, it's not like they're selling solid core cardstock everywhere, and that's why we just order ours from Celebration Warehouse, because we know what we're getting.
Right.
So, do you need to use the glitter cutting on the glitter cardstock? Yes, Ty. And I'll go over what cut settings we're going to use for these specialty cardstocks today, because there are special cut settings for that and all of that. So we will get more into it as we get into the tutorial. Now, you're going to need that. How many times can we say cardstock before this video's over?
We could
We could do Lauren's like, we could play a game.
Yeah.
So I've got some black ribbon here. This is just glitter ribbon from Hobby Lobby. It's just this is a 3/8 inch. And then I have some black skinny cord from, I'm thinking this is from Hobby Lobby, but you just need some skinny string to make little tassels.
Kind of like baker's twine.
Yeah, it is like baker's twine. And honestly, y'all, you can use yarn and stuff. Your tassels will just be thicker. But I'll show you how you can make these little tassels today too. And then I've got some foam squares. Now, if you're just getting into paper crafting, This is something that you're going to want to have in your arsenal because we use these for everything. Let me cut off this little tail. We've got a bunch of extra. So these are just these are actually the bigger foam squares. They make these in all different sizes. They can be cut down to size if you need them a little bit smaller.
You can also get the foam strips.
Yeah, they come in rolls.
Exactly. A foam roll and cut it exactly like you need it.
Yep. So they come in all different variation of sizes, lengths, all that. We're just going to be using these little squares today, okay? And those are great for making three-dimensional paper projects, which ours is a little bit 3D. And I'll bring the banner up here so you guys can see it a little bit better too. I'm also going to be using a light grip cutting mat today. This is the Nicapa brand. Y'all know that we stand beside the Nicapa brand for our cutting mats. Light grip is really, really our go-to for cutting paper and cardstock because we do not want the backers of our paper sticking to our mat, ruining our mat. If I used a brand new standard grip mat for any of these cardstock projects, when I go to remove it, it's gonna peel up some of my paper and it's gonna destroy your mat. So we typically gravitate towards a light grip mat or a well-loved standard grip mat. Okay, so if you don't have a light grip mat, but you've got a standard grip mat you've been using a lot and it's like still sticky but not like brand new, that will work just fine. I've also got our Lynn Lily hot glue gun here. This is just a cordless hot glue gun. It's a precision tip, which is really good when working with paper crafts because you can really get in there where you need to. And then I didn't bring the ATG gun in here because we're not going to be using that today. But the ATG gun, that is just a double-sided adhesive gun. We use that for tons of our paper projects. So those are really good when you're working with cardstock too. I wish I would have used it.
There's one underneath that. But you can't, yeah.
Oh, this is the ATG gun.
You also,
love these.
the ATG doesn't stick very well to that glitter
It
for some reason.
It doesn't. So we didn't use it today, but I'm telling you guys, if you're going to start paper crafting, you need a double-sided adhesive of some sort. If it's not an ATG gun, you can get double-sided adhesive dispensers at the craft store. Okay?
So, a little backstory.
Lauren.
I'm pretty sure Scotch doesn't make that anymore.
I mean, yeah,
I
they're
know
hard to
that.
find.
I know that there's somebody on our Facebook page said that they found one at Michael's that was like next to nothing. I'm almost positive it's because they don't make. I think they make them. I don't think they make that specific one anymore.
Like the pink one?
And the reason that I say that is because I went down a rabbit hole, an absolute rabbit hole of trying to figure out where we could buy them, where we could link them, because we link them in a lot of our videos from Amazon.
Right.
The one that's linked is currently out. So I have been on a mission to try to find a reasonable tape runner.
Yeah, we need to find
that is
one
a good
love.
alternative.
Yeah, and it works so good. So it's going to be really hard to replace it, but we'll find some type of good alternative for you all so you have something to use. So let's go ahead. We're going to hop into Design Space and kind of get this project going. Now, I think I have already saved it. We are going to be using some Makers Gonna Learn fonts and files today. We're using this new font. It's called Funky Record. Is that not the coolest name ever?
I love that font.
I know, it's so cute. Let me just open this up for you guys real quick. So this is what we're going to end up with, and I have not downloaded that font, so let's go. I'm not going to touch anything Design Space. We're going to go download this font really quick. Now, when you're looking for fonts and you're working with paper, you want to find a good thick font. Like already looking at this stylus, this is a really good cuttable, I want to say cuttable, Cricutable font because it's so thick. If you start getting really thin with paper, it's not as easy to cut. So Funky Record is a good one because it's bold, it's loud, it's going to cut really nicely, and that's what we want when we're working with cardstock. So I'm going to download this font. Look how cool that font is.
I love it.
I love it too. It's very cute. And then I just unzip the folder. We're going to double click our font right here, and then we're going to hit install. Okay, so it's on our computer. Now we just need to go back to Cricut and reload Design Space so that Design Space knows that we got that new font. Okay. The T with Miss P. Funky Record is my favorite. I made a bunch of hotel keychains with that font. Ooh,
That's a good
cute font
for that project. A great font for that project.
It is. That's so funny. Okay, so now you can see if we type it in, it's already popping up, but you can type in Funky Record and it's right here. We also have a font called Funky Disco, which I also love, and they look good together actually. So these are the fonts. So we're gonna get to this end result, but I'm gonna show you all how to get there. So let's just kind of move all this down. Now, today I am just going to be we're gonna be starting with a basic shape, and I'm gonna go back to our website. We're gonna go to Cut Files, and we're gonna type in banner. And y'all, we have a bunch of different banner images.
Yes.
Okay, we've got a bunch. I think this one is called plain banner. Yes. Okay, this is the one we're going to be using today, so we're going to need to download that as well. It's going to go into a zip folder. We're going to open it up, double click that folder, and we're going to be using the SVG. Did you guys guess it before I said it? Because Lauren taught you which one to use yesterday. So we're going to go to upload our image, and then we're just gonna click and drag that SVG in, okay? Easy peasy pudding pie. And I'm gonna select it and we're gonna add it to our canvas, okay? It comes in a little bit big and we can kind of resize it. It's really gonna depend on how big you want your banner. I didn't want anything super crazy like, let me see how big this one.
Why is the bounding box so much bigger than the actual?
That's a good question. I don't know. I'm wondering if there's like maybe.
Well, are there
Let
other
me see
pieces?
if these ones are. This one is too.
What are all those other pieces? Those extra pieces on the side? Do you see that on the layers panel?
Oh yes. I don't know, but
What
let's
is
delete
that?
them. So I don't know why this is here. It looks like fragments of
Look at
another
that. It's
design.
tiny. It's
I
tiny.
know.
Click it again.
I know. They're little. Look. So we can delete those from the layers panel. If you ever pull in a file and it looks like that, which we're going to fix this for you guys so you don't have to do it. But if you do it right now, if you're working with me, go in here in the layers panel and just delete these little tiny
What
pieces.
are they?
I don't know. I didn't even notice it the first time when I made these.
Well, I'm just thinking like to really get a good size
right,
on
to
it,
know what size you're
to know
doing.
what size it is.
Yeah, so we don't
Okay.
have them anymore, so that's good. We'll fix that for you guys. So you can resize these to as big or as small as you want. If you wanted to make a little decoration for your desk, it can be tiny. This is like a good medium size. Like, I mean, overall, like from tassel, I guess we should measure from tassel to tassel. This one is about, look at me measuring like this, Lauren.
Why don't you just take it down? It's your, okay.
It's 24 inches, but let me
Okay.
take it down because I really do want to show you guys what this looks like close up anyways. Okay, so depending on how big, really we should probably measure it from this to this because that's what we're designing in Design Space. So if we measure from here to here, we do have a little bit of space, probably like an inch and a half or an inch to a half inch of space in between the letters. But this is about 19 or 20 inches wide, okay? So these need to be about 4.5. Yeah, these are about 4.25 wide, okay? So in Design Space, if you want a banner that size, we want to make sure that this top edge is at 4.5, and look, we're almost exactly there. You could always, if you're really picky, you could change this to a 4.5, and then that's going to give you the exact size that we're using, and then we're just going to duplicate it as many times as we need it. Now, you could do cheers on this. You can do 2024. I feel like cheers you could use other holidays other than just for New Year's.
Yeah.
So Patty said you were driving everyone with OCD crazy. It's a problem. I'm sorry. I'm not a perfectionist. I'm a crafter. Oh, okay, there's two different types of crafters. We talked about this.
We have.
There's OCD crafters and then there's people like me. So I've got my 4 little banners. Easy enough, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now we need to go in with our font. So I'm just going to go ahead and open a text box. And we are doing 2024. And I'm going to go Command A. That's going to select everything in my text box. And we're going to select our funky record font. Now, we just need to resize. And I like to fill this up pretty full. Let's change the color to gold so you all can see what's going on. And I'm just going to shrink it down a hair.
So explain to everybody why you are doing it this way instead of individually.
So what I could have done is type out a 2, size it up, and then make another text box, type out a 0, size it up. For one, the sizes are not going to be exactly the same. So I like to resize everything together, and then I can separate. And I want to show you guys how you can separate. So I'm resizing so everything is the same size. I want my fonts to be the same size. This is such an important design concept. You don't want to resize your fonts to be a bunch of different sizes. It just doesn't look good. So I'm resizing, and I'm just looking at my 2 inside of this first little bunting banner because I want to see how that's going to fit. I'm not really even paying attention to this 0 to 4 at all. But I really like this size. So what I'm going to do while that text box is selected is come up here to this advanced drop down menu. And I bet I use this almost every time that I'm working in Design Space. And I'm going to ungroup to letters, okay? Now, look, they're separate. How magic is that? Okay, so they're all here just like that. Now, if you wanted to just use numbers, you totally could. We're gonna use a disco ball. I mean, personally prefer a disco ball to a 0. But I just wanted to kind of size everything right. So we can delete our 0, and there you have your numbers. Beautiful. Does anybody have any questions? Our font size is 248.13. If you want to get specific, that is the size that I'm using, okay? So I'm not a complete winger. I did want a precise font size. I can be a little picky when it comes to design things, so there's that. So now we need to get our little disco ball. So let's go over here. And I think this one's called Auld Lang Syne, which makes this even more, isn't that like a graduation song?
What?
Auld Lang Syne, isn't that a graduation song? Isn't that graduation? What does that mean? It's a song.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either, but I've heard it. If you know what that means, let us know. I'm pretty sure it's like a song that you sing either for the new year or for graduation, and I've got it mixed up in my brain. Okay, so I just downloaded this file right here, okay? You can see there's lots of other elements, but we don't
It's sung on New Year's Eve.
Perfect. So Auld Lang Syne Disco is that file that we're using, but we don't need all of it. So I'm going to show you guys what I do. Did you show them how to like get rid of segments of their SVGs that they don't like yesterday?
Huh?
Did you show them how to get rid of segments of their SVGs that they don't like yesterday?
Yeah, contouring it.
Perfect, yes. So I'm going to upload this SVG. Obviously, there are portions of it that I do not want. Let's pull up our Finder. We are using the SVG, pull it into Design Space, and we're going to upload it, okay? Add it to Canvas. Francis, I literally said to Courtney, I said, I cannot believe that this year is almost over. It's crazy to me. It's crazy. Okay. Let's move all this. Honestly, I could just delete it because we don't need any of it. Okay. So right now, you can see we have all these elements. Look at our layers panel, y'all. Holy.
That's wild.
That's too many layers. So we're going to delete everything we don't need. And what I like to do is just click on this sub layer. I'm going to hold the shift key down, and I can select as many layers as my heart desires. Okay. I'm going to skip over our little disco ball. We're just selecting all this.
So are all those little colors
Yep.
separate?
Yep.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. So if you wanted to cut it out and do different colors, you could. I hate that every time that I'm holding the shift key and I click a layer.
It takes you to the top.
Yes.
I would just delete what I'd had selected and then go.
Sometimes I do that, but I wish it didn't do it. And then we're just going to click the trash can. Okay? So this is...
Did you mean to get rid of your stars?
No, I didn't. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, shoot.
Just hit the back button. There you go.
Oh, okay, redo. Okay, we're gonna select everything except for the disco ball and the stars. Here we go again. Let's just trash those. And then this, and this. All right, boom. Now, so we've got our little disco ball. She's cute, she's gorgeous. Let's resize her. I'm gonna actually change this to, will it let me change the color? Yes, okay. Let's shrink it down a little bit. Look how cute she is. I love it. So we can kind of resize this so it fits nicely. Now, I have a lot of like these, and I'm looking at this disco ball. This is a different disco ball than I have here. Let me just show you guys. So the disco ball that I'm using in Design Space is a little bit more intricate. The one that I linked is this one. But I'm going to use this disco ball in particular that I have in Design Space because I'm just going to show you guys how you can cut an intricate cut like that. I feel like this would be a good learning experience.
Oh, I just now noticed it.
Yeah, it's a little bit different, but I just thought that was the one that I used.
Okay.
But that's okay. We've got options. And I actually like this one a lot. So now, since there is a lot of intricate cuts, I do want to add an offset to this just so it kind of has something to give it a little bit more stability, because right now all these little lines are going to be so thin and skinny, and I need some stability behind it. So I'm going to add an offset. Now you're just going to need to select your image. We're going to go up here to the offset menu. Okay, 0.25 is a little bit too big for me. Let's see what 0.2 looks like. I do want the stars to be connected in the offset, so I don't want them to be separated. I want it to be on one, but I do want to make it a little bit skinnier. I think I like that. 0.5, okay? And then this will be our foiled gold layer. So I'm just going to make it, ew.
Just go gray.
Okay, but let's zoom in and look at what we've got here. So I do want an offset layer, but I want it to be filled in. And right now we still have lots of little holes in here. So I need to delete those. And if you watched yesterday's tutorial, Lauren talked about using the contour function. We use this on a regular basis. And all you're gonna need to do is select the image that you wanna contour out, and we're gonna hide all contours, okay? This is just gonna leave us that solid outline. All right, and so now I want to make sure that it's still fitting size-wise in our flag, because the offset does add a little bit more thickness to it, and that is perfect. So let's zoom out, see what we got here. Look, y'all, I mean,
super
heck,
cute.
It's like doing 10 minutes. I mean, you
I
can
love
make
it.
these all day long. So I think this is just so fun and easy. Now, before we go to make it, I want to make sure that you guys don't have any questions about the design portion of this or any of the supplies. I would love to answer any questions like that. What's everybody thinking? Are we on the same page? Y'all feeling good?
I think so.
Feeling good? Okay. All right. So if you have any, drop them in the comments and we'll answer them as we go. Now, I think we have everything we need. We don't need to actually attach anything because it's all being cut out of different materials. Now, these are all foil, and this is actually gonna be the glitter layer. So I'm gonna switch. This is our glitter layer. This needs to be the same as our 2024. That's just personal preference. That's not a rule or anything like that. So let's go to make it.
Okay, we did have somebody ask, can you explain the offset, please?
Yes, I certainly can. So basically I can just kind of tell you what an offset does for me as in terms of like what we're working with here. So right now I'm using the offset as a way to marry the entire image, because you can see the stars are completely separate from the disco ball. I kind of want everything to be on the same layer. And so by adding that offset, I've connected it all. So it's like one unified image. Now you can use the offset for many different things. Like you can use it to create an outline when you're creating stickers, or I'm trying to think of another good instance that we use an offset. Like there's lots of different instances that we use it, like for hacks and things like that. But for this instance, I'm just adding an offset, which is an outline all the way around our image that unifies the stars to the disco ball. Okay,
Yes.
so that's the purpose here. Now I'm gonna go to make it. Now you can see all of our stars, they were connected. I'm just gonna leave them like this, okay? And actually I could even, I'm trying to see how they were. They should line up perfectly, shouldn't they? We'll do it like that to save a little paper.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys can move your images around, and if you need to be closer, you can zoom in down here. I want them to cut out like that. They're still going to cut out as individual pieces, but it saved us that whole little section of cardstock.
Yep.
And we're going to need this to be a 12 by 12 mat. I need to go into settings and fix that so it stops. And then we've got our black mat over here. I'm going to change that to 12 by 12. Look, it's perfect. I love when that happens. All of our pieces are here. I love it.
Yep.
Okay, and then we have this one, needs to be a 12 by 12 mat. Okay, this is our offset, which is going to be cut out of the foil, and then our letters. Lorraine, you can use the offset to make letters thicker and easier to read. That's a very good reason to use it. Okay, now we need to just go to continue. My dang stars moved back because I clicked on that mat. It's okay. So if I wanted to move them back, I could still. I don't know why it wants to be difficult and finicky. You can move it from this screen as well if you need to. Okay, let's hit done. Now, this is the one that I was talking about. This is the layer that I was talking about using an intricate cut setting. Now, we're cutting glitter. So a lot of times if I use an intricate cut setting, I'm using regular cardstock. Have you ever cut glitter cardstock with an intricate cut setting?
No.
Let's try it.
Okay.
Let's try it because normally
I would probably do more pressure.
Yes, that's what I was thinking too. So normally when you're working with glitter cardstock, you would use a glitter cardstock cut setting. There's a special setting for it because it's textured, it's a little bit thicker, and so you have to have slightly more pressure. Sometimes there's more passes involved for different cardstocks, things like that. But since we're cutting that detailed disco ball and the stars, there is a cardstock for intricate cut settings, if you guys didn't know. And I think that I want to try to use it on this glitter. So let's see what happens. I'm gonna burnish this down really well. We're gonna be cutting in this corner. So I wanna make sure everything is down. When you are using cardstock, you wanna make sure that there's nothing on the mat that's gonna raise the surface, especially if you're working with intricate cuts, because if it hits any bumps, like if there's any type of residue on your mat, it's gonna mess up your cut, okay? So we wanna make sure it's clean, smoothed out, just like this. I'm just using a burnishing tool. And then we're gonna go back into Design Space and go to Browse All Materials, okay? So just type in intricate, and you can see cardstock for intricate cuts. Now, I was asking Lauren if she had ever done it before, and she said no, and she had the idea of using more pressure, which I agree with. So we're gonna change this to more pressure, okay, just to make sure it gets through that glitter cardstock. And we're gonna see what happens, okay? If it messes up, we will troubleshoot, okay? We know you guys like to do that.
We know you guys love it when we troubleshoot.
I cannot pick this this mat up. Okay, here we go, maybe.
Are your nails getting long?
Maybe, yeah. They're not too bad. They're not too bad. They're still my Christmas nails, though. Okay. So I'm just loading my mat in there. Okay. And it's just going to run through. I'm hoping this works. I have a new blade in here. I do have a new blade. And that is something that's important, especially when you're working with cardstock and intricate cuts. You want to make sure you've got a new blade in your housing. It's just going to ensure that you're getting that nice, crispy, clean cut every single time, okay? Becky, I scratched the junk out of my beautiful Oracal vinyl when using a burnishing tool. It's not you, Becky. She says apparently I don't know how to use them right. It's not you. Sometimes the burnishing tools will scratch your vinyl. I'm a brayer gal. I love a brayer, and I didn't bring my brayer in here, but it's just like a rolling pin. And I personally will gravitate to a brayer almost every time.
But one thing you can do is you can turn your mat upside down and burnish from the back.
Yes, And you can put...
Add that to the hack book.
Yeah, and this is also something I used to do a lot. Take your paper towel, wrap it around, do a little wrap around.
Do a little wrap around.
And then look, so this makes it soft, so it's not gonna scratch your vinyl. So there you go. And they make these with a felt edge too. You can actually purchase them with the felt edge. Listen, get a brayer. Just get a brayer. I love a brayer. They're a little bit, they're like, I think the Cricut brand is $18. They have off brands, but I like the Cricut one. They have the 505 brand, makes them at Hobby Lobby, and they're a little bit cheaper. So there you go. Fun hack for you today.
Yep.
I've got my glue gun on right now. I am using a glue gun for today's craft because we talked about like the ATG gun. You could use like dab glue for other cardstock projects, as well as the 2-way zig glue pen, which is just like a paint marker glue pen. But I'm using hot glue because we are working with glitter. Glitter does not like to stick, okay? Hot glue I found is the best adhesive for glitter cardstock. So if you're having trouble getting your glitter to adhere, that's probably why. Okay. Got some tweezers. Let's make sure this cut before I take it off, because I don't want to remove it if it's not cut. Ooh, y'all, we did a good job. We did a good job, everybody.
Did a good thing.
We did a good thing. Okay, let's take it off. It's cut. Now, before I do anything, I am not gonna just weed this out and I'm not just gonna weed this out and pull it up, because it's gonna curl my cardstock, okay? This is what we like to call here at Maker's Gonna Learn going with gravity. So I'm going to flip this over. I'm having issues picking my mat up today. Let's use the tweezers. There you go, hack for you. Okay, I'm gonna flip it over. We're gonna let it fold away from the mat on its own. Remember, we have very delicate little lines here, and we do not want that to rip. You can take tweezers to kind of pull it off, and look how perfect that turned out. So there's our little disco ball, okay? And then we've got our little stars here. Be careful when you're bending this back. You don't bend it, don't be too aggressive. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll snap your mat in half. So you want to be careful. I'm just gonna grab up my little stars. And when I'm doing paper projects, I like to make little piles of everything. So I've got my little gold glitter pile, if I could grab it. Okay. I'm just gonna sit these over here. And then I've got this one right here. Now, I don't know if I have a spatula in here. Yes, I do. Okay.
A spatula.
A spatula. This is my favorite way to get little bits of cardstock off of the mat. Another little hack, if you will. These thin spatulas, you can also get burnishing tools that are super thin like this. Cricut has one that's my favorite. And you can just actually scrape these off, just like this. It's the easiest way, rather than going in there and trying to get it off individually with your tweezers or your weeding tool. This is just much faster, okay? And then we can throw away all that extra. Do not throw away your stars or your disco ball. Very important that you don't do that. Okay, now Design Space is wanting us to cut our bunting, okay? That's what those little flags are called. So we're going to get our black glitter cardstock. Just gonna line this up, okay? Now, a lot of times people don't like to cut their cardstock face up either. This is like another hack, if you will. They will take it, so let me show you what they would do. You would take some transfer tape. Well, I would use Caesar transfer tape, just a medium type transfer tape, and put my cardstock face down.
Now
And
that's
then-
going to be really important if you have like a chunky glitter cardstock.
Yes.
This glitter cardstock is so fine that it's not a big deal. You can still do it.
Right.
But that is going to be very, very important and very helpful if you have a chunky glitter.
Yes. So if you have a bigger, thicker glitter cardstock, you're going to put transfer tape down, okay? Just a 12 by 12 piece of transfer tape, whatever you've got on hand. We're going to put it face down, and you're going to need to mirror your image. If you are cutting your material from the back side, you need to mirror your image. So you would go up here into Design Space, okay? Go to Edit and select Mirror before you do anything. It doesn't matter with these buntings because they're symmetrical, but just so you know, if you're using paper or anything like that, when you're cutting anything from the back, you've got to mirror your image, okay? But we're just going to cut it from the front because this is a very fine glitter and it always cuts nicely for us. And then we're just going to burnish this down really good. Okay. And then I'm going to cut this on, you can cut it on glitter cardstock, but y'all, this Ashley Falco cardstock, glitter cardstock cuts on medium perfectly. So I always use the medium for this one. Other thicker glitters though, you're going to want to use that glitter cardstock cut setting. So we're going to feed this in, okay? And then that's just going to cut out our little flags. That spatula I'm using is actually like from a Temu, a Temu gift set that we got.
Yeah.
And it works pretty good. We keep it hanging out over here. Okay, let's hit go. Maybe. Okay, and I'm just using a fine point blade for this, so nothing fancy. And then the next cut will be our foiled vinyl. I'm going to cut off all these excess pieces so they don't get caught up in my Cricut. I just don't like having this kind of floating around. All right. So now that we talked about, earlier in the show, we talked about all of our deals going on, who's coming to Make-a-thon, who's getting their sublimation out, what are you guys signing up for this year? I want to know what your crafty goals are for 2024. I love to set a goal. I'm a goal setter. I have to set a goal or I can't focus. It's just like who I am. It's not like I'm proud of myself for it. I literally can't function if I don't have a goal. So what are your crafty goals?
I'm the complete opposite.
I know.
I feel like if I set a goal, like I'm just setting myself up for failure.
See, I'm the opposite. I will fail if I do not have a goal in mind. But I don't get disappointed if I don't like meet it, but it definitely helps me get where I need to be.
I feel like I get so disappointed if I don't meet it that it's the opposite for me.
Right. Well, and that's me and Lauren are, what do they say?
We're so much alike, but also so different.
We're different faces of the same coin. What do they say? What's the saying?
Two sides of the, not two sides, I don't know.
Two sides of the same coin. I don't know. You got, if you know what it is, let us know.
Similar but different.
Different, yeah. Okay, so that cut really good. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. And like we did earlier, you're gonna wanna go with gravity, okay? Don't rip it off like I do. Just very, very carefully. If you do have any little pieces that snag, grab an X-Acto knife. You're gonna wanna keep these on hand, and we're just gonna go lightly along the edge of that because it's probably almost cut all the way through anyways. And so there we go. It just pops right off. And then we're gonna flip our mat over and remove these so they don't curl up because we really do want these to be flat. Okay.
Oh, I'm seeing so many goals, so many things that people are wanting to do.
Oh,
Casey signed up for Make-a-thon yesterday. Congrats.
Yay.
So excited for that.
Yeah.
Maria, if you want to click on the link that we have pinned at the top, you can, we have $75 off of our membership right now, yearly membership. Or if you don't want to jump in yearly, which honestly, right now, the year is the absolute best way to go. Hands down, the best way to go. No doubt about it. But we also understand that sometimes it's not in the cards for everyone. So if you want to, you can still join us for a month. You do not, however, get the Craft Hack Handbook or anything like that, but you still get an amazing community that you get to be part of.
Absolutely.
So And I've seen a lot of people saying that they are getting amped up for sublimation too.
Yes. Okay. We were like having this debate the other day because sublimation ebbs and flows really hard in the craft world. And what I mean by that is like people get really excited about it for a few months and then they're like not talking about it at all for a few months.
Yeah.
And so through Christmas, like before leading up to Christmas, we were like, nobody's really into sublimation right now. What the heck? And then now it's like, okay, we asked you guys on Monday what everyone got for Christmas, and y'all were like, sublimation printers. Everybody got sublimation printers for Christmas. So now we're like, okay, we need to do sublimation for you guys. So we actually, Friday's tutorial changed to sublimation just for y'all. We had planned something else and we changed it. Okay, since this is foiled, I'm going to do our little paper hack, our little paper towel hack, so that I don't streak or scratch up my foil. You have this issue a lot with foiled vinyls and cardstock. If you use a burnishing tool, it will scratch the far out of it sometimes. So I just wrapped my burnishing tool in a paper towel and we're going to push it down. And then here in Design Space, I'm using kind of a piece of scrap. So I want to make sure, I want to edit this. I want to move this down like a hair because I have a dip in my vinyl. Okay, that's perfect. We're gonna hit done. And there is, I would probably cut this on like holographic. I don't know why I typed in foiled. I would probably cut this on holographic cardstock. Am I jumping over it? Where are you? Let me type it all the way out. Well, am I spelling it wrong? Maybe the Explorer doesn't have a holographic cardstock.
I bet it doesn't.
I bet it doesn't either.
Just type in cardstock and see what kind of cardstock settings it have.
Okay, that's where I'm at. There's like deluxe paper.
Honestly, you can't go wrong with heavy cardstock.
You can't. I'm gonna use, that's what I'm gonna use for this one. Just because it's like basically got a layer of foil on top, so you do want it to be heavy versus medium. Okay, let's send it through. I'm so sorry.
You good?
I'm good. Okay. You can sign up, Kathy, you can sign up for Make-a-thon and you can watch it later.
Yes.
It will be on replay all day.
And yes, we did the giveaway earlier for the $100 Amazon gift card. What are we giving away for today if they comment on either on the live or on the
Ashley Falco gift card?
Oh, I remember somebody earlier in the live said that they didn't have any good cardstock and like right now didn't have.
Who wants it?
Yep. Comment on the live right now, or if you are watching the replay, comment on the replay.
Comment
and we
down
will
below.
Choose the winner by 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. And tomorrow's giveaway is going to be a live giveaway.
Yes, tomorrow's giveaway is very big. Make sure that you all are there. It's our last day, technically our last day of Beginner Boot Camp, but our New Year's event is technically the last day. So tomorrow's going to be fun. It's going to be sublimation. So if you've been curious about sublimation and you're like wanting a new hobby for the new year, be there tomorrow. Lauren, I think Lauren, you're hosting it.
I would assume.
It's going to be good. You guys are going to love it. Lauren is great at sublimation. Okay, this is almost done cutting. We've got all of our little things here. We're just going to have to start the assembly process. Okay, I'm just kind of getting everything where it needs to be. I had some reverse tweezers this morning. Where'd I put them? Okay, listen. If you are getting into paper crafting, these reverse tweezers are my favorite. I don't know what brand these are. Just any reverse tweezers really are good to use versus regular standard tweezers when you're working with paper crafting. This is reverse, this is regular. Reverse is when you squeeze it, it opens. When you release it, it closes. This is great for grabbing little tiny pieces of paper. Okay, these are also great, but you have to hold that pressure, and like my little brain forgets and I'll drop stuff, and so we're not going to do that. I like to use the reverse tweezers. Let's make sure our foil cardstock cut, because we did use that heavy cardstock cut setting, and y'all, it cut like butter. let's remove it. And I'm gonna go with gravity for these as well. We've got our little disco ball offset.
Yes, somebody asked if our New Year's Eve event will be available for replay. It sure will. However, we are doing all of our giveaways live.
Yes.
You have to be attending live for those giveaways.
Yes, they're just that evening. Okay, now the first thing we need to do is assemble our little disco ball, and then we will apply all of our letters. So I like to kind of lay everything out. Can you all see this well enough? Okay, I like to lay it out.
It's not as wowing on camera because it reflects the black ceiling.
Oh, let me give you guys an angle then.
But it's still beautiful.
It is. It's very gold and sparkly. Yeah, it's definitely more gold in real life and like dazzling. Okay. So now for this one, you can use a zig pen for this. I think I'm going to do that anyways, because the reason I wouldn't use a hot glue here is, for one, the glitter is just on the front, okay? The glitter is just on the front, and we're attaching it to this this foiled cardstock. There's no glitter on the back, so I could use a standard glue here. And if I use hot glue, it's gonna dry before I even get a chance to put it down. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna take this Zig two-way glue pen. This is like a paint marker. We use these all the time in paper crafting, okay? And you just kind of get it going. I like to let it bounce, and it comes out blue, it dries clear, and you can see it starts to come out a lot. And then I'm just gonna lay this flat, and we're gonna kind of fill in these lines, but this is gonna give us a little bit more time to get our piece onto the offset. If we use hot glue, it would probably dry before I even got a chance to, and so that's why I'm not using the hot glue here. Okay, let's bring this over here, and you can see I'm not having to focus on holding my piece because my tweezers are doing the job for me. And then we're just going to line it up just like so. Okay, beautiful. I'm gonna do the same thing with our stars. And let me make sure, I like to make sure I'm using them in the right spot. These are all pretty much the same shape, so I'm not super worried about it. I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue on the back there. I like to hold it down and then release my tweezers. So I typically like to put the glue on while I'm holding it, like in the tweezers. It's just easier for me. Okay, so I'm just holding my little star here, putting some glue on the back, and then attaching. And then I'll put my finger on it and then release my tweezers so that it doesn't go with it. Okay, we've got 2 more pieces. This is something y'all can whip up today. You know, are y'all doing anything for New Year's? I'll be here and then probably gonna go home and take it easy. Okay, and our last one. All right, and attach. Okay, beautiful. Now
That's so funny. We had somebody, I think it's Gmata 2. I used an entire Zig pen on my mom's 87th birthday card. So many candles, LOL.
did you do Maker University? Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Those cards are legendary. They were huge. I love it. So let's bring all of these down here. Now I did foam squares on the backs of all these, and I have my hot glue here because sometimes the foam doesn't want to stick to the glitter depending on what brand of foam you use and stuff like that. But I have it here just in case we needed to add a little hot glue to our foam squares. So I'm going to go ahead, let's let this one dry for a minute. I'm going to go ahead and put foam squares on the back of my letters. So you don't want these to show. I'm going to put them where you can't see them. And you need like 2 or 3 per area. It gets a little skinny on some of these, so I'm going to put them where I best can. Oop, that one you can see. And you can just take a little pair of scissors and kind of nip it if you need to. I will also say they have colored foam squares. So if you're working with a specific color, you can always like use colored foam squares, and you really can't see those, you know. Okay, and I'm actually I like to have some stability like at all four corners, even though this isn't a square. I'm gonna put like a little piece right there because I just like to have that stability. Okay. Did y'all have any questions? What are your other goals? What is everybody saying they're wanting to do in their craft game this year?
I don't remember. I did see a bunch of sublimation.
Oh, yeah.
I saw a bunch of people wanting to make stuff to sell.
Oh, okay.
I saw a bunch of people trying to scroll back up.
So now I'm just taking off these little pieces back here on the back. So you can see it looks like that. And then we just need to attach this right in the center. And before you push it down, you can kind of make sure it's in the center where it needs to be. And then I like to just put pressure where the little foam squares are. And so this gives it some dimension. Isn't that neat?
Oh, Kim said she wants to complete all the 30-day challenge. That's a great one.
That is a good one. Yeah, do it.
That could be your goal for the first half of the year, let's say the first quarter of the year.
Yes.
And then by the end of the year, you could be a Cricut master.
A Cricut master. Okay, for this one, we're just going to do one at the top, one at the bottom, and then we're going to remove this. So I feel like this is a really good way for you all to be introduced to paper. You kind of get a taste of the different types of cardstock, the different cut settings that you need to use in different instances. And hopefully, if you were intimidated by cardstock before, hopefully you feel more confident to do it now, because it's really, really not that hard. And it's very easy. Like if you mess up, you're not going to wasting a bunch of money on blanks and things like that.
Oh, we have a lot of people that are saying Arlene is retiring in January and plans to craft all the time. Congratulations.
That's my retirement plan too.
Yep. Getting their business started, learning epoxy tumblers, officially launching a website and not be so dependent on their Etsy shop. That's a great one.
Oh, yeah.
Master sublimation.
Get that email list going. Whoever said that. If you're trying to open a website, you need an email list too if you're trying to not be committed to Etsy. That was one thing whenever I was running my business, I didn't realize how important an email list was. It's like the most important though, honestly.
And a lot of people that a lot of email lists that I'm on, like just from Etsy shops and stuff, they'll post on their Instagram and saying things are dropping, whatever. But it's like, if you want early access, like 10 minutes early access to their drop, sign up for their emails.
Yes. And you can offer something as easy as that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Getting a laser cutter this year.
Ooh, okay. Lasers are so fun. You'll love that. All right. So I'm just removing all these pieces. We almost have everything attached, and I'm going to show you all how to get all of these onto the string and then make your little tassels. So we've got everything on here. Look how cute. I love it. Let me get all this trash off here so we got plenty of room. Okay, and then I have our ribbon, and I just want to have excess space on each side so it can actually be hung up. I would say I've got about like 30, let's see. It's a pretty long piece of ribbon. I'll measure it for you guys. You're welcome. 48 inches. That's like excessive though. Like you don't have to have it that long. And then we're just going to run this through. So I like to go from the front to the back. So I'm going to go from the front of the hole, and then we're just going to weed this through and try to give the hole a little bit of stability as you're pulling it through. Okay. And you can kind of adjust them once they're in there. And then we're just going to weed it through the back and then repeat the process for all of them.
So Sherry just asked a question, do you have to calibrate your fine point blade? It's not your blade that you have to calibrate, but yes, you do have to calibrate your machine.
Yes.
And even if you move it, we move our Explorer up and down a lot. So when it comes to print and cut, so we'll put it on the table, take it off the table, all of these different things. It will knock the sensors off a little bit sometimes. So you do have to calibrate your machine if you notice that it's not cutting correctly.
Right. Okay, so I'm just weaving this in and out.
Oh, that's a good question. Luke asked, what craft projects do you think will be big in the new year? I personally think that embroidery is going to stay big. Now, I know that there are ways that you can create templates for embroidery on your Cricut. We have done a few tutorials on that, but I feel like it's been big for a while. I think it's going to stay pretty big.
Yeah.
Other craft project or other crafts that I think will be big. What do you think, Alicia?
Man, I don't know. That's so hard. I don't know. I think anything with like pressed flowers is going to be big.
I've seen a lot of things. Like especially, let's talk about like T-shirts and things like that. A lot of that stuff is going back to a more simple design, is what is very popular.
Like clean cut, single words.
Right, like, and
minimal.
not just single words. I'm talking like small single words, like on the front of a sweatshirt, or a quote that's just like on the front of the sweatshirt, or
HTV on the sleeves.
Sleeve designs.
That's a big thing right now. Okay, that is the finished banner. Now I'm going to quickly show you guys how you can make a tassel. I'm trying to see. You can do it with your hand, really, or your phone, or something that you want the right size. So this size right here, I want to say I used a notepad or something, but you can use your phone. Something square, okay? You need something square. You need some string. And I'm going to cut, to start, just a little string to hang it from. Okay? Just a little string to hang it from. And then I'm going to take this and wrap it around my phone, okay? Bear with me. I'm just going to wrap it like this. I need this to be on the top here, okay? This is what's going to allow us to tie it to our banner. So we've got our little string right here. The hardest part is getting it started. And then once you've got it, you can kind of start wrapping it like a bunch. Just wrap it and wrap it and wrap it, okay? The more you wrap it, the fluffier your tassel will be. And this just goes to show you that you can use whatever you've got on hand. I'm literally using my cell phone for this. And really just depends, like we could use the burnishing tool, but our tassel will be like this small. So it just depends on how big you want your tassel to be. And I'm gonna go ahead and tie this up here in a knot, just so it kind of has somewhere to stay together before I pull it off of my phone. Okay, so we've got our little thing up here, and then you're just gonna need to slide this off like so. So you've got this like loop situation. Trim it, okay. We're gonna cut right here. I like to put my finger up here at the top where we put the string to connect it and trim that bottom. So we've got our little tassels right here to connect it. We've got it into two pieces now, okay? But we need to connect it down here at the bottom. What I do is just take a piece of string, I don't know, just a few inches long, and we're gonna tie it right there around the base. And just tie it in a knot. the tassel tutorial you didn't ask for.
Uh-huh.
And then you're just going to tie it in a knot, okay? And then I like to trim it so you can't really see that part. And then you can just take these and you'll make another one. So you've got one on each side, and you can tie these to your ribbon. And if you tie them tight enough, they'll kind of stay in place. If you don't tie them tight enough, they're going to just kind of drag. And then I will cut off the excess. And there you have your little tassel. See, this one's a little bit longer than these that I made, but there you go. Voila.
Super cute.
Yes. Here, let me take this tape off. Okay.
I love it.
Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year.
I can't believe it's this weekend. Holy moly. It's crazy.
Oh, wild stuff. Wild stuff.
I love it. So if you guys have any questions, let us know. Obviously, we'll be back tomorrow at 1:30 Eastern Standard. So, yeah, that's going to be super fun.
Make sure you jump in, especially with Make-a-thon, because we only have a handful of mystery boxes left. And once those get filled, we will no longer be doing mystery boxes, from my understanding, after that.
Yes.
So make sure you jump in for Make-a-thon to get your mystery box and your craft hack handbook. Or if you want to purchase any other Maker's Gonna Learn program, whether that be Maker's Gonna Sublimate, yearly membership, if you want to extend your yearly membership to get the craft hack handbook, or Design Make Sell.
Yeah.
Any of those will get you the craft hack handbook sent to you early March 2024.
Yes, so exciting. Everybody's like, awesome, that's fun.
Yay!
If you guys make this, make sure to post it in our exclusive Facebook members only group. We love to see it. If you made any of the crafts this week, we would love to see it. And if you are a new member or if you joined today, welcome. I cannot wait to see you guys inside the group. It's gonna be a good year.
If you are new and you haven't had a chance to look around the website yet, take some time, look at the website, start at your dashboard, and on your dashboard in the top right-hand corner, you'll see a little box that says Facebook group. Make sure you click that Facebook group and join the Facebook group. That way you can get in on all the fun. The Facebook community in and of itself is worth every bit of the yearly membership, in my opinion, because you get you can make so many friends, virtual friends there that are going to support you, love on you, lift you up, tell you how, I mean,
there's
honestly,
very helpful.
So helpful.
Yeah.
And so uplifting. So it's definitely
worth its money.
Worth its money.
Yes, I agree. All right.
Okay.
Well, we will be back tomorrow, 1:30 Eastern Standard, working on sublimation with Lauren and Tanner. It's going to be very fun.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see y'all then.
Bye, guys.
Bye.